Y'all, I know it's dark, but I'm sitting here watching Friday Night Lights season 3, and so I'm just go ahead and just do this little 1-2 right here. Give me about 5 minutes because I'm finna start episode 5 of season 3, and I just want to say there has been quite the shakeup here in season 3. It's a lot going on. You can tell that the strike messed up the whole storyline. You can tell that it's whole new writers. I don't know. The season ended with Tyra confessing her love for Landry. And there's 3 people on this show I don't play about. There's 3 people on this show I don't play about. I don't play about Matt Saracen. I don't play about Tim Riggins. And I don't play about Landry. Them 3, look, I don't play about them. I do not play about them. And Tyra done messed around. And I was rooting for her. Tyra, girl, I was rooting for you. But you done messed around and done broke Landry hard. You could have just told him the truth, girl. If you didn't want to be with him, you should have let him stay with that weird girl that had that bob in them locks in the last season. You shouldn't have went and confessed your love to him, girl. And turn around and 5 episodes, 3, 4 episodes in season 3, girl, you done broke that man's heart. He was waiting on you, girl. You done gave him a runaround, girl. And he loved you. And what did you do? You played with his heart. It's sweet boys like Landry that turn around and be a dog for life because they were so sweet and sensitive and attentive and empathetic. And that was a good man, Savannah. And you done messed around and I messed him up and I broke his heart. Landry done made a full 360. He done defended you, girl. He risked his freedom for you, girl. And you turn around and you broke his heart. You should be ashamed, Tyra. That was a good man, Savannah. And you done messed him up. Next thing you know, listen. Lord, I'm finna start stirring because I'm so mad. Listen. For 2 seasons, two seasons, I had been in here asking my husband, like he know the answer because he don't know. I've been asking my husband, why we don't know where Matt Saracen mama is. Matt Saracen mama, where was you at? Where were you where all the dogs needed help? Girl, where was you at? They were struggling first season. Matt daddy, sorry, he's serving as a soldier. He trash. How your mama gonna be sick and you talking about going back to some Iraq? Ain't no way. You left your mama here. You talking about put her in a home. You done talk dog junk to Matt. Stressed him out. He up here trying to work at the Alamo Freeze, selling Sundays and hamburgers and fries, trying to pay the rent. And you couldn't even, where was all your soldier money going? Your US dollars should have been going to Matt, sending them home. Why was you not sending them no cash? Why was you not calling to check on your mama? What in the world kind of son? Like, Matt is struggling. At this point, they done my boy had to go file for his independence so he can take care of his mama. I don't know what happened. Season 1, she had dementia. Season 2, the dementia didn't even come up. I mean, now all of a sudden she about to stroke out because she ain't taking her hypertension medicine. She spit it out. She being mean. And, Matt had to go all the way to wherever his mama was at to find his mama. And now his mama, come to find out, Matt mama was a teen mom. She had him at 17. And so probably if he's 17, that means she's 34. Matt mama left and she didn't say why. I guess it was too much for her because she was young. She didn't know. And Matt, his heart is open because Matt he is so sweet. He is sweet and attentive and empathetic. He just I see why him and Landry is best friends. Because they two are the same, cut from the same cloth. Listen, Matt, first of all, that boy daddy, that JD boy, that JD, it's nothing against you, JD, but your daddy is doing too much. And look, I can already tell from the way it's going that at the end of this season, Coach Taylor is going to leave. I can already see it because Buddy Garrity, I ain't seen nothing good for you, buddy. I ain't seen nothing good for you. I don't like you. And Tim Riggins, listen, I know Tim might be a little rough around the edges, but Tim been through a lot, and we are praying for Tim Riggins. He is on the prayer list. We are praying for Tim Riggins. I know the show is already over, y'all, so just let me go ahead and just get my rant out right now. We are praying for Tim Riggins, and he loved Lala Garrity. And where is Jason at? How all of a sudden, First of all, what happened to the Reverend? Lila was just dating the Reverend. I know Tim told Lila he loved her and everything. You know what I'm saying? But how we just go from her being in a relationship with the Reverend to now the Reverend is gone. The Reverend is gone. Lila is staying in Santiago room. Where is Santiago? Y'all done got rid of him already. Y'all could at least gave him the first 3-4 episodes and then wrote him off. I don't know. And where the little weird girl at with the locks and the bob? I want her back. You know, I was rooting for Landry and Tyra, but now that if Tyra gonna act like that, I want the girl with the glasses and the bob and the locks back. Bring her back. Hashtag where she at? We still waiting on Waverly. You know, I'm happy that first of all, another thing. You know, I wasn't too keen on Smash, but I was rooting for him. And he had that scholarship to Whitmore at HBCU. Now how all of a sudden we get from him having a scholarship, we ain't see the championship game. They lost the championship game at the last game. How all of a sudden Smash gonna tear his knee up and we don't see it? How Smash gonna tear his knee up and we don't see it? Now all of a sudden he trying to work at the Alamo Freeze and contemplating being a regional manager because ain't nobody trying to take him for college. You know, and he ended up getting a walk-on position at Texas A&M. But what happened to Whitmore? Like, what happened? They ain't hold his spot. They ain't tell him that shit he have a spot on the team or something. They could have redshirted him. Why they ain't redshirt him? That way he could have got his whole 4 years of play. What's really going on? What's the tea? And about this Jumbotron, because I'm tired of them in this Jumbotron. I'm so tired of them in this Jumbotron. Buddy Garrett, y'all did not need a Jumbotron. Y'all need some teachers at that school. The children are failing. What's her name? Tammy, Coach Taylor's wife. The children are failing. They need books. They need pencils. They need erasers. They need dry erase markers. And you talking about a Jumbotron. Where are the priorities? I thought the children were the future. See, this is why we talking about. Anytime it comes to a coin, people don't know how to act. Anytime a coin is involved, people don't know how to act. All of a sudden, they can't see, they can't hear, they deaf, dumb, and blind. They don't see the children are failing. The school is raggedy. And first of all, if the boosters is giving all this money to Dylan and all this going on, and they making money, and the people's getting tickets and buying all this food at the games, and they got all this stuff, where is the money going? Because they ain't got no new uniforms. They ain't got no new practice facility. The field ain't got no cute decorations on or nothing. Where is the money going? If the money ain't funding the school in the other sports, where's the coins going? All the coins came going to the football team because no. So where's the money? They ain't got no good buses or nothing. They supposed to be the elite of elite and the city's supposed to be behind them. Where is the money? I need to see the receipts. Where is the money? When it comes down to these children playing for Dylan, y'all don't care nothing about these kids. And I'm tired of it. These children are out here trying to change their life. They out here risking their body, putting their body. I don't even like foosball like that. But they out here putting their body on the line. And they can't even, get a little help. And I don't trust JD parents. And that's all I'm going to say. This was only supposed to be 5 minutes. And I'll turn around and be a 9-minute video. I will be back with the remainder of season 3. But I just had to jot down my thoughts on camera real fast. And, just get it all out. Because your girl is a little... We need to know. Where's my notepad and my pencil? I need to take notes. What I need to know. What's the tea, writers? What's up? Okay? I'll be back. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, Kay. And I am here today to bring you a review of Friday Night Lights, Season 3. I'm just going to apologize in advance for the rant I had previously that y'all saw. Because let me tell you something. Season 3 kind of had your girl all over the place, okay? All over the place. I'm trying to find my screen. I'm trying to find my screen on here. So I can bring up the episodes and see Friday Night Lights, Season 3. That way I can stay on track. Okay, so outside of the Jumbotron, which was what I discussed last there were two villains. There were two villains of season 3. I'm trying to extend grace. I'm trying to find it in my heart to extend these characters grace, but it's hard. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's hard. But before I get to them two characters, we're just gonna go down the list character by character. Okay, so Smash is in school. We ain't seen Smash. I miss Smash. Smash was not in the second part of this season. Jason Street ended up leaving. So all the guys bought a house. Jason Street, I forgot his friend's name, but his friend he met at the facility that was also in a wheelchair. Riggins' brother and Riggins, they all went in on the house. They bought the old Garrity house. Excuse me, y'all. Oh my God. So they bought the old Garrity house because Lila's mom got remarried and moved to California. Her and her 2 younger Garrity children with her new husband. And so they bought the Garrity house. They ended up selling the Garrity house. Street had this dream of becoming an agent because he ran into one of his old teammates who was looking for an agent. He found an agent. There was an agent trying to sign him. But, you know, there was some situations that didn't necessarily work out. So Street ended up moving to New York to be closer to his son and the mother of his child, which I thought was commendable because he didn't let his disability stop him. He wanted to do whatever was necessary for his son, Noah, and I appreciated that. It kind of just seemed like, you know, I know like Street and Lila was in this hot and heavy relationship the first 2 seasons. So it was kind of weird to see them not interact at all in season 3. We didn't even get to see Lila address, you know, him even having a baby, how she even felt about that. And so Lila was pretty much in a relationship with Riggins. Like, as I told y'all in the previous seasons, I have a soft place in my heart for Riggins. Riggins was probably like one of my faves, him and Landry, honestly. Like, oh, and Cyrus and Matt. Soft place in my heart for those 3. Because they were the ones who kind of were going through the most in the season. Cyrus and, you know, we got a lot of answers, you know, and then we got a lot of stuff that was introduced that was new. We never really know what happened to Matt's mom, but Matt's mom popped up in season 3, and, you know, he kind of got used to her being around. He kind of actually liked her being around because she was very helpful with Matt's mom. We never really found out what exactly Matt's mom did to make his grandma dislike her so much. I thought that was going to come up, but you know, it was a lot going on with Matt and his storyline because his grandma, it was declining. So it was kind of like she was declining and then she was well in season 2, and then now she's like declining more. And so it was hurtful to see, especially, you know, with her, you know, she tried to get out of the moving vehicle and she ended up falling out of the car, hitting her head on the ground. And the doctor had been telling Matt for a while that, you know, his grandmother was declining and it's too much for him to try to take care of her on his own. He needed to consider putting her in a memory care facility. And so it did come a time where he had moved her in to a facility. He didn't want to leave her. He didn't feel comfortable going to college, you know, and she didn't want to stay with Matt's mom. Or she didn't want Matt's mom to stay with her, helping her. And so it was a lot on Matt. Matt daddy nowhere to be found still. I mean, I guess he's still in Iraq according to the storyline. So it was just hurtful to see because I did recently, you know, go through that with my own grandparent, you know, with him having dementia and having to put him in a unit. He no longer is here with us in the physical, but it was hard to, you know, have to move him in there and hope that he adapts to it. You know, I really felt for Matt in that storyline because he just wanted his grandmother to be comfortable. Tim got a scholarship to go to school. He was supposed to be going to San Antonio State. His brother might not have done everything right. He may not have been the best guardian, but he did want the best for Tim. Him and his brother did open up this body shop or automotive shop or whatever. And so he was trying to better their lives, but he just had a rough time maintaining, a nice stable environment. I just need to know, how are these people able to drink? Okay, they are minors. How are they able to drink so much? I just don't understand. Like, I just like, y'all going to parties, y'all taking shots and stuff. That's a lot. Y'all 16, 17, 18 years old. Like, where y'all getting this stuff from? Anyway, Reagan's brother is still with Tyra's sister. And they end up getting married by the end of season 3. And he tells Tim that she's pregnant. But outside of that, they had took some copper or something. They was trying to they did a lot of illegal things to try to make themselves have a better life. But with the environment that they was living in, it was pretty much a place where you can get stuck and stay in habits. And so they wanted to, continue to push forward and try to make a life for themselves, even though I didn't necessarily agree with everything. Tim was there also for Street when Street went to New York to try to get a job as an agent and to, find a mother of his child. Like, it kind of reminded me of season 2 when Tim went with Street to Mexico. It was very reminiscent of that, except it was in New York this time. You could tell that Tim was hurt, because Street was pretty much the only constant friend that he had. And so he was going to miss him. Lila, I just don't understand. To me, it was some inconsistencies with Lila's character, because we had Lila, she was all in this hot and heavy steamy relationship with Street. In season 2, they was engaged, and then they weren't engaged, and then, she had an affair with Tim, and then she got with this preacher, and then they tried to make her all in for Jesus. But then, season 3, she didn't say nothing about Jesus. She didn't even go to church. So I was just like, I don't know what happened. It was a lot of inconsistencies, but she is ending up going to Vanderbilt. We're going to discuss her tuition money and where her college money went. But yeah, she had left living with her daddy, and she was staying with Tim for a little while because she was mad at her daddy, because Buddy had a lot going on. Julie wasn't really, in like that season 3. She didn't have like one of the major storylines in season 3. She must have been doing something around the time, I don't know, but she had got a job at Applebee's, and she was pretty much saving up for her car this whole season. And then, her and Matt ended up getting back together. We're gonna talk about my fave, Landry. Landry had a lighter season 3 as well. After the whole situation with the person trying to harm Tyra, and the whole storyline, that pretty much got thrown out the window. And so Landry was focusing on football and his schoolwork and the band. He did find a new person. One of his band members ended up quitting. He ended up finding a new band member. She was a girl. She ended up coming out to him after he misread the situation. She was trying to comfort him, but he considered, he took it for making a pass at him. And so she kind of had to, tell him that, she is interested in women. Excuse me. Oh my God. She is interested in women and not him. And so it was, a little awkward for Landry, because Landry kept going back and forth with Tyra. Like, Landry was just a sweet guy. He was a very smart guy. He just had trouble, with women, because women at that age didn't necessarily find Landry like the hot one to date. But, after Tyra, dumped the rodeo dude, which he put his hands on Tyra. He ain't like hit her or nothing, but he was physical with her. And it was just the fact that, like, Coach Eric and Tammy had to come in the middle of the night and get her from the hotel room. She wanted Landry to come get her because she had called Landry at first, but Landry had kind of made a boundary with Tyra. And so it wasn't until, she needed Landry's help after he read her for filth, of course. Because, Landry was like, you're not going to keep stringing me along. You're not going to keep going back and forth with me. You're not going to keep doing all of that. And so, him and Tyra ended up being together. Now, they ended season 3 together. I don't know if it was Landry's senior year. Tyra did get into UT, so I don't know if she's going to be in the season 4. I was happy for her because that girl worked hard them last 2 years to make sure she wanted a better life for herself. And I was happy because in the beginning, I didn't know what kind of character Tyra was going to be, because Tyra was in a relationship with Riggins, and it was a toxic relationship. And then after that man, after she saw her stepfather hitting on her mom, Tyra decided then and there, like, she wanted a better life. She was tired. She was tired of that kind of lifestyle. She wanted a better life. So what she did was she started getting herself together. She started participating in school more, getting more involved. She had joined the volleyball team. She had became SGA president. She had started, coordinating events and stuff at school. And so she pretty much, was, like, well on her way to, getting her applications and stuff together for college so she can go on interviews and stuff. And so she had got waitlisted, and I thought that Tyra was going to go to community college, but Tyra ended up getting into the University of Texas, and I was happy for her because she really, 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 really worked hard, and she really wanted to go to school to change her life and to get her into a new environment, because she had been locked in it was an environment where it was hard for her to succeed. She had been locked in that environment for a minute, and so I was happy to see my girl get through. I really was. So Saracen got into school. I said something about Saracen. Saracen got into school. There was a thing with Matt about, cause with JD coming around, JD daddy was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and segue my way into it. JD's father was really controlling. He was really controlling. And of course, Tammy was the principal of the school. And so she was getting a lot of push and pull back because she was married to Coach Taylor. And so they did their best they could, with both of them working at the school, to not, let it be a conflict of interest. Because, it was different when she was a guidance counselor. But now that she's the principal at the school, it added an extra layer of, work around it they had to do. But JD's father ended up becoming one of the boosters of the team in Dillon. Garrity, Buddy, he ended up having some financial issues, so I guess he became like head donor. And so this whole season, Eric did not trust Joe McCoy. And I don't know why he didn't tell Tammy that. I don't know why he didn't tell Tammy to be on the lookout for Joe's wife. Because, sometimes when it comes down to people with money feel like they can do whatever they want to do because they know they can get it because they got money. And that's pretty much what it was given all season. And so it came down to, there was a lot of funding issues going on with Dillon. And so there had been a map where there was a school called East Dillon that they had shut down. And so everybody from East Dillon had ended up going to Dillon. But now they was trying to redraw the lines of the city of Dillon. And so they was going to have half of the city going to Dillon. And then there was going to be a boundary where the other half was going to go to East Dillon. But because the boosters feel like they had money and they could control, because Dillon's all about football. And since Dillon Panthers was like the holy grail in Dillon, they felt like with that football team, they could restructure the lines. And so Coach Taylor actually found out about it. And he didn't tell anything to Tammy, because when she asked about it, he said he didn't know. Which I don't know why he told her that, because I just felt like he should just told her the truth. That way she could have been in the loop. But they felt like they could restructure. And so JD had been doing good, but everybody kept, saying like, oh, JD is such a good quarterback. Oh, JD is such a good quarterback. He got this arm. He's the future of Dylan. Woo woo. So basically, they put Matt in the back burner. So Matt started all the other years after he started 3 years once Jason Street was gone. He started all the rest of his years. He get to his senior year, he ain't starting. Well, he started out his senior year, but then he got like demoted, so he became QB2. And so at first they was, he would do all the running plays, and then JD would do all the throwing plays. But eventually Matt started folding under the pressure that, JD could possibly take his spot. So Matt decided that he was going to quit the team. He wasn't going to play no more. Well, Coach Taylor was not going to take that for an answer. So Coach Taylor still had him on the team. But he said he wasn't going to play. So he was just on the side taking notes. So he started taking notes and learning the position of wide receiver. So all of a sudden, he telling the coach like, oh, I want to play wide receiver. He put him in for a couple positions. He said, well, I don't want you to get hurt because, if something happens to JD, I don't have a backup quarterback if both of y'all get hurt. So either way, Matt started running routes. Matt started doing good as a wide receiver. And so JD's, doing his thing. So it gets to the point where it's the game before the championship game. And this right here is what made me really upset. It's raining outside. I mean, it's pouring rain. So this is like our second game in Friday Night Lights where it's like pouring raining outside. And so his daddy told him before the game started to run the ball. Well, that's not what Coach wanted. So JD was doing what Coach wanted. JD did have a couple of obstacles during the game, but he ended up pulling it out. JD also had this little girl that he was interested in. His daddy ended up calling the little girl a tramp, calling her a distraction, telling JD, what to do in the game. Mac had a heart attack. So JD's quarterback coach had stepped in to fill in for Mac to help with offense and everything like that. And so basically his daddy was trying to set the team up to basically infiltrate it from the inside. That way he can get everything he wants done for his son. So the guys was kind of telling JD, like, have fun, live a little. You don't have to do everything your daddy say, which was bad advice. But at the same time, his daddy was controlling. He didn't allow him to actually enjoy playing football. He made football more than a job. And so JD was constantly under pressure, and he lived like it. And so it came down to like that game, and he was on the phone with Maddie in the car. Her name was Madison. He was on the phone with Maddie in the car, and so his daddy was like, get off the phone. And he basically embarrassed Matt. And so, after the games, they all go to Applebee's. So Applebee's is to hang out or whatever. And so in the parking lot, JD addresses his father saying, I know you called Maddie's parents saying she was a bad influence on me or whatever. And he told his daddy, screw you. Okay, that was disrespectful. It was. But his daddy was just like overbearing. And so he was like, you're going to respect me. So they start tussling. It's still raining outside. They start tussling. Eric and Tammy are sitting by the window at Applebee's so they can see what's going on outside. So JD and Joe are out there tussling. Joe starts hitting JD in the face, saying, you're going to respect me, and then starts hitting his head against the car. And the mama is out there, like, basically frantic because she don't know what to do. And so it's not okay. So the whole situation was toxic and embarrassing. So they took JD and JD mama to their house. They meaning the Taylors. And try to, comfort them and console them. Because now they got to figure out what they're going to do. Well, the bad thing about that was other people saw it. So now it comes to the light where Tammy is being questioned. Like, they was like, Tammy, everybody saw this, he gonna have to go. It's the law for you to go to the police and report what you saw. Tammy don't want to do it because she don't feel like it's her place, and Coach Eric don't want to do it. So they're really struggling with the decision on whether or not they're going to call CPS on JD parents. Well, Tammy ends up doing it, and CPS shows up to their house unannounced. And so that was the beginning of the pushing out of Coach Taylor. I could see it happening. But JD said that he won't necessarily feel his father. He hated his father or whatever like that. But now, I don't know what happened. We didn't see his father apologize. So, it's up in the air. It's real up in the air. And so, JD is talking bad. Now, mind you, they get to the States. And JD is throwing the ball away. He ain't got enough experience. My whole time, I'm like, Coach, put Matt in the game. Take him out. Put Matt in. Take JD out. Put Matt in the game. He don't do it until after halftime. Matt coming in. Matt is playing quarterback and wide receiver on the field. And JD is mad. So then, after they lose by 2 points, Eric go and visit JD daddy because now he done found out that he in town trying to recruit players for Dylan team. And they're going to tell Coach Taylor, it's in your best interest to take my opportunity. Talking about some, you can guarantee my son gonna play. Sir, your son cost them the game, the championship game. It was Matt who put them 3 touchdowns on the board that Dylan had. But, you know, when it comes down to parents like that, you can't say nothing to them because they think they're right. They think their child don't do no wrong. When in all actuality, JD did everything wrong because he was listening to your unwise counsel. But anyway, Buddy Garrity, they ended up voting Coach Taylor out. So Coach Taylor got voted out and got offered the head coaching job at East Dillon. So now we're going to be East Dillon Lions versus Dillon Panthers. So this is going to be a whole nother situation in season 4. Last but not least, Buddy Garrity. Buddy Garrity has been windmilling for his life the last 2 seasons. As you can recall, the reason why he is no longer with his wife is because he cheated on his wife with Tyra Mama. The cars ain't selling. Buddy is struggling. He still is like head of the booster club at Dillon. But he ain't got no money. So he gave $70,000 to one of his investor friends for a strip mall, thinking he was finna flip the money. Well, the property went belly up, or the investment went belly up. Business people, y'all know what belly up mean. It ain't good for people who don't know. His investment was returned void. He got no money. So Buddy thought the dude was trying to run him for 70 racks. When in actuality, the dude lost the 70 racks. Meaning the investment didn't go good. So Buddy, while they're in the adult entertainment lounge, Buddy decides to attack the man, and Buddy gets arrested and thrown in jail, has to spend the night in jail. Buddy was charged with disorderly conduct, public drunkenness, assault and battery, and he vandalized the entertainment lounge that they was at. $30,000 worth of damage. So now Buddy is in the hole, $100,000. Well, he don't got the money. He explained the situation to Lila. What happens? Oh, well, Lila says, I can work just to help you out until I go to school, because Lila has her heart set on going to Vanderbilt. Well, Buddy took Lila's college money, the $70,000, and invested it. Now he didn't have no return on the money. Lila don't have no college money. So Lila is mad. And you know, Buddy had already went through something previously in season 3 with his other 2 kids and them not respecting him And it was a big blow up. It was a fiasco. So now here we are back again. Lala saying, don't blame mom. Blame yourself. Ain't nobody tell you to do all that. So Lala basically spazzed on Buddy. And probably by the end of the last episode, she had just started back talking to him. Lala had planned on going to San Antonio State with Rickens because Rickens had gotten a full scholarship. But Rickens ain't trying to go to school. Rickens just doesn't seem to have a vision for his life. He wanted to stay with his brother. He wanted to stay in Dillon. He didn't have anybody to push him. And so it's just a lot. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Tim now that he's a senior. He's graduated, because now Rickens has graduated. Saracen has graduated. I don't know who else has graduated. But I think that's all I have for my season 3 review. It was a whole lot going on. It's probably a whole lot of stuff that I didn't miss. That I missed, like Coach Taylor catching Julie and Matt. But I didn't think that was that important. It was like it was a conversation that was had with her mom, but it wasn't like a major moment like JD Daddy throwing him against that car. And I wouldn't, I ain't for children disrespecting their parents, but parents can't be provoking their children now. Throwing him against that car, JD had every right to swing on his daddy. I'm just saying. But that's neither here nor there. Finding out, what you want to do after you graduate high school, it's a tough period. I was there. It can be a trying time in a teenager's life for sure. But everybody has gotten through it. And I'm interested to see, how season 4 and season 5 gonna go. Of course, I will be back for season 4. I don't want this video to be too long because it's probably already gonna be about 40 minutes. So like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back. I hope y'all are liking these reviews. My Bel Air video is out. Probably both Bel Air videos are out. My Swagger series is out. So if you haven't already watched my movie reviews as well. So far, I have reviewed Hurricane Season, Shooting Stars, and one other basketball movie. Shooting Stars, Hurricane. Oh, Sunset Park. Sunset Park, Hurricane Season, Shooting Stars. And stay tuned because I think my Double Team review should be out by the time you see this video. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos. Deuces.